All right, man. Let's see what we got. I guess we clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of L'Esprit. I am a spiritual healer, and essentially, what I do as a spiritual healer, man, I pretty much help you, to become Christ-like, Krishna-like, Buddha-like, and what that is saying pretty much is that I help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. And I help you to do so by unifying, let's just say, your mental aspect with your emotional aspect. And the reason being is for you to have a broader perspective, or even, ultimately, that perspective, the target and the aim is going to have to be one. So there's a growth that's also taking place in you, and man, and then you really get to pretty much merge and just, man, like, you really get to see how much of a work of art, not only that your life is, but you also are. And that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about tonight, man. So it's gonna be a whole lot of, it's just gonna be a whole lot of talk. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So going back to me being a spiritual healer, help you to see the bigger picture, and of course, that comes with you attaining a highest level of awareness, consciousness. You can't have a one-sided perspective. Thinking you see the whole picture. A one-sided perspective, that's all it's gonna be, and it's always gonna be limited. So therefore, that's why it's important for you to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And when we're talking about being emotionally balanced, I'm talking about not repressing. Well, not repressing would be one of them. Well, that would be more. Okay, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Repressing it would be more. I'll talk about that shortly when we get to talking about, how to become mentally balanced. But most importantly, what I'm also trying to say here too, is that for you to have a broader perspective, you must embody all of yourself. You have to see everything. You can't look at yourself from a one-sided perspective, so therefore you're not going to be a fully developed human being. And for you to be a fully developed human being, that's why you need God. That's what Jesus meant when Jesus told you, men cannot live off of bread and wine alone. That's why you go to school. Otherwise you eat and shit, but you also understand how important it is for you, hopefully, for you to develop your mind. So that part of you developing your mind, that goes beyond your physical aspect. This is why now studying comes in, developing your intellect, comes in, and all that shit. So again, when I'm talking about, like the Bible, obviously, I'll be talking about that shortly. It's just a manifestation of what's taking place in your, it has to be practical. Jesus' teaching were practical teaching. But see, the thing is, they were esoteric knowledge, meaning they shouldn't be taken for face value. But at the same time, it's also the type of knowledge that is meant, for you to bring it out too. You gotta make it face value. In other words, you gotta have to make it the face value. That's how the words become flesh. The words gotta be made flesh. This is why would you have knowledge and not becoming wise? The reason why you're becoming wise, you have knowledge so you can become wise. Now you have knowledge, which is discernment. Now once you have those discernment, then you have to be able to make the proper decision in accordance to what you know, man. That's why everything is mental. Do you see what I'm saying? But anyway, that's why I always tell people too, spirituality is not something that's outside of you. No, it is you now. It is you now, but now with spirituality is giving you a deeper understanding of how you work. Now, for instance, when we're looking at this reality, it's a mirror. You can only go as far as you go. If you're a stupid motherfucker, guess what? You're gonna make stupid decisions and stupid actions. You can only go as far as you go. This is why this is a perfect mirror. And when we're talking about the work of art, man, bear with me. I'm gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get you ready first. Do you see what I'm saying? Then you start looking at yourself like, and that's the thing. To get out of that one-sided perspective on looking at you just only from a physical perspective. Whereas for you to become the bright ones, the shiny ones, the holy ones, the true Illuminati, it requires for you to elevate that your consciousness. Only then can you become the light of the world, man. How else would you be the light of the world? So that's why it is, I mean, you have to know both sides of you. That's why when I talk about spirituality, which is talking about the spirit side of you, it's telling you, it's breaking it down to a point where for you to know your true essence. This is why we say this is a fucking illusion. Because there's more to what it looks like. Just like there's more to you than what you appear to be. That's what makes this an illusion. Let's just say, if you're saying like a nice, a big booty bitch, doesn't mean it's a good mother. What may look aesthetically beautiful, that's when they tell you now, you know what I'm saying, not everything that shines is gold. This is a reflection of this world. So meaning you always have to look beyond. Even for you to get to know me, for me to get to know you, that means I got to know your character. What type of person are you? I mean, it's cool. I get to see what you look like. Beautiful. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why when you understand that alone, you have to start looking at people from a fucking energetic perspective. That's when you bypass their, you know, their physical aspect. Tell me who you are. What type of experience have you had? That's why I tell people, don't tell me how educated you are. Tell me how much you grow, and I'll tell you how educated you are. So that's that growth, that's that self-development. That's going to show me who you are, man. Do you see what I'm saying? And that goes for everybody. But then again, you know, we're talking about the work of art. So now going back to us, you, me, like when you really get to break it down, you know, my thoughts and ideas came from, you know, a living spirit, or if you don't want to call it spirit, some living intelligence or energy, call it what you will. But ultimately, what you're going to see is when you really get to break down everything about you, you are more than what you look like. Your speech, it's a representation of your mental. You know what I'm saying? I'm teaching you guys, as a spiritual healer, listen, man, I'm teaching you how to become the genie in that bottle, man. You are the genie in the bottle. The bottle is you, is your body. Then now you would have to learn, I help you to successfully pull that genius out of you. That's what I do as a spiritual healer, to tell you the truth. But in order for you to pull it out successfully, to master the men within, or to be the embodied one, you have to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And then now when you become whole, because now you could see things from all perspectives, then now you don't have a dualistic perspective, meaning you don't see good and bad as being two things that are totally different. That's what dualistic is. But instead, you look at good and bad as something at two sides of the same coin. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of life too, man. Something that is ugly can also be beautiful. A bad experience that you had is wisdom. My fucked up past, it's wisdom for you niggas. So out of something beautiful, I shaped it into something. I mean, look at me, man. Look at me. Look at me, man. Man, to the pure, all is pure, man. I had to become pure. But then again, that's why when they tell you pain or conflict, these things could be your worst enemy. But the best teachers, man. And you need to have both sides for you to grow, to be fully developed. That's why they tell you don't want to be too comfortable. Because comfortability, it's fucking you up. There's no growth. In fact, I said it right. Because if you ain't growing, you are automatically decaying. There's no in between. You cannot serve two gods. You can't. It's either you see the God in you, which entails or in return would help you to elevate and be more connected to nature and not worshiping idols. Then because when you see the God in you, you will find your treasure. Then now you become very happy and content of who you are. Your abilities with all of your being, mind and soul. You testifying, goddammit. You become that testimony. And this is who I am today to you, man. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. But it takes both good and bad for you to fully develop. Do you see what I'm saying? Think about it. Even like when you're working out, it's the same thing. You're not going to have a nice body without, That's why, man, you have to change your perspective when it comes to pain. Not just pain, anything that people call bad. Mistakes, you got to embrace them. Because with your mistakes, it makes you better. In fact, in this realm, that's why you can't speak of perfection in terms of being flawless. It doesn't make sense. But what would make sense, if you want to talk about perfection, is to talk about holism, holistically. Good and bad. We're living in a world where, you see good and bad. There's good people, there's bad people. Good people do bad shit, and some bad people do good shit too. What the fuck are you talking about? Do you see what I'm saying? When you see it from that perspective, now you could see the bigger picture. And part of you becoming the Christ, that's what this is. This is when at this time you become the illuminated one. You have automatically transcend this physical world. That's what it means by the truth has set you free. You're free from material bondage. You're free from, let's just say, you looking at good and bad as being two distinctively different shit. Poles. It's when you get to add both of them together, then now you get to see a full picture. Just like, when someone is being emotionally unbalanced, they don't see well. That's why they tell you, you don't want to make a life making decision while you're mad. Because there's certain things you may not see. So again, this is showing you your state of being too. It is truly your inner vision. Here we are using our eyes, but yet we are truly using our inner vision. That's how you're truly moving. That's what you need to become aware of. So even as you're using these eyes, I'm not even using those eyes. Do you see what I'm saying? And then you really get to experience your inner self in parallel of this body. of while you're using these eyes, you can also see through your other eyes, your inner eyes. In fact, when you develop your inner vision, it gives you a better, it helps you to see the outside better. And that's what it means to the pure. All is pure. Niggas. Man. And that's what it means to the pure, all is pure, man. Then when you understand that, now you become the architect of your life, bro. This is when now, when you get to be in touch with your own emotions and your mental, then now you become fully whole, illuminated. You become the salt or the light of the world. Because now you're no longer looking at things from a limited perspective, which was those two sides. Or if you're looking at yourself, like looking at death even as a hard stop. No, it's not. Death, you see it all over life. You know, hopefully for you, I know for me, from a toddler, you know, to like a baby, a toddler, to an adolescent, a young man, and now the man that I am, those were different phases for me, man. I mean, the butterfly is actually a dead caterpillar. Do you understand that? And that's what death is. It's a transition. When you start looking at it from this perspective, then you see what's taking place in you is taking place outside of you too. That's why this is the great mirror. You are reflecting your being in this universe. But it requires for you to become self-aware of you first. Then now you can see the connection with you and nature, with you and the universe. And the stronger that connection is getting, then at times you will feel like cosmic. It's almost like I'm really living a mysterious life, bro. You know what I'm saying? My connection in nature, this shit's crazy. And the universe too. You know, it's almost like I remember, like I'm seeing me. Again, I am the great artist, man. And that's what I'm saying to you guys now. That's how I'm painting my own life. Like, you all a work of art, man. You know, and that is the truth that will set you free. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of you guys, as you say, because you're looking at, then now it's like you're not looking at life mysteriously enough. That's why your life is not fulfilling neither. There's no mystery in your life, man. There's no spices in you. You gotta add some spice in you, man. That's where the mystery comes in. Oh, we delve into the mystere, man. You know, and we embrace our insecurities. Do you see what I'm saying? As you're following your path, you're going to be a little bit insecure, but you learn how to embrace it. So again, even when it comes to express your feelings, that's why you never suppress your emotions or repress your emotions. Be angry, motherfucker. I mean, I understand, you know, like, you know, you may want to tone it down or not to a point where, you know, other people's being hurt. I definitely get that. But for the most part, when you truly acknowledge it, you know, you would just express the anger as is. Not necessarily like you're being triggered. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, your anger is acting out. It's you acting out your anger now at this point. That's why I'll be telling you guys sometimes I may have to let a motherfucker know. But I'm saying that without, you know what I'm saying, there's no back and forth. It's no, you know what I'm saying, it's just, hey, man, I'm saying, you don't add up over here, man. You don't belong here, stranger. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just let a nigga know, that's all. I sleep good at night, man. You know what I'm saying? The fuck? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? At times, you gotta let niggas know. But ultimately, man, when you really get to understand, and this is why you have to go within. And to become emotionally balanced, you have to acknowledge all of those emotions. Just like I just told you now, like for me, I'm learning over the years, I'll build more faith. You know, I became stronger now. Oh, come on, man. Now, come on, man. It's not even a question. But as you follow in your path, listen, man, and you know it's your path too, because there's no trail in front of you. If there's a trail blazer in front of you, that's not your path. It was already you following somebody else's path, nigga. So that degree of insecurity is gonna happen. But you gotta learn how to embrace all of it. Not to suppress it. Then now as you embrace it, now I have been able to successfully transmute that. Now I know what it's like when Jesus was having that moment under that Gethsemane tree. Like, God, I know, you know what I'm saying, like your will always go, but if it was up to me, you know what I'm saying, it's like certain things, like when you make certain moves, you know you got to do it. I know for me, I know I got to do it, and I always do it too. But that doesn't mean like when I get to that, you know what I'm saying, you know, that's when I call on Lick Bar too. I'm like, hey, man, the fuck? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Being under that tree, man. You know what I'm saying? It's Jesus knowing what's gonna happen, but yet, you know what I'm saying? Then thy will be done. That's how we move. But I'm just trying to tell you so you understand. That's what Jesus did too. He acknowledged his insecurities, and yet, then that's when he was able to transmute it. Now, for me, I know shit. Fuck it. It's the path, man. You know what I'm saying? So, in other words, I became very comfortable in walking into the darkness, man. You know, being that blind man reading the scripture. Oh, man, that's what you're doing in life. And then now God in you, you know, you become the hermit now with your light, and that consciousness is guiding you, man. You know, and that's when you realize your life, it's a work of art, man. It's all of those different elements that you got to use and put them together for you to become fully developed. That's why you can't look at it from a dualistic perspective. You can't look at it from a good versus evil type of shit, or good and evil. You eating from the tree of good and evil, you'll never get into the kingdom of God. That's what the Bible is telling you, man. I'm just giving you the clarity. I'm giving you that sight, the understanding of what's being said. Because the whole purpose of spirituality is for you to, it's your manual for you to become fully developed in this earth school. That's why you deal with the occult. That's why you have to become a mystique. Magic is just another aspect of you. But for you to do it, that's why smoke in that movie Center, you know what I'm saying, had to be smoke. Your intellect. That's why we have rites of passage. We don't allow anybody to just play with magic. Because there's a bunch of responsibility that it comes with. I mean, there was a little, you know what I'm saying, a little crew. You know what I'm saying, like fucking Google spell searchers, or you know, they go out there and pay other people. Man, listen, man, you're playing with yourself, man. You find the right one too, though. Oh, they got the right one, because I want both sides, nigga. Otherwise, I would be all, whoo, nah, nigga. Best believe you come in to kill me, I will kill you first. Think I'm just gonna lay down and let you do what you want? You got me all chopped up, man. I mean, I can't believe you even looked at me that way. But ignorance. That's what you're truly paying right now. That's what they're all going through. Yeah, man, you falling on your own sword, man. Not knowing you can only go as far as you go. Or I go the distance, man. I'm just getting warm up. That's when they want to give up now. For what? And no giving up and no turning back. It's only going to get worse. There's no escaping this one, baby. And trust me, if you think this is worse now, you haven't seen nothing yet. It seems like every time I get behind here, I got to give you guys some bad news. Anyway, man. I mean, I guess just you seeing me too is bad news for you, huh? I'm full of it. I am full of it, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Bring it on. You started it, I will finish it. That's how it goes. Anyway, your life is a work of art, man. That's why you have to embrace both the mystery and the mundane about you. You never see something so imperfectly perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's like even in life, a baby's smile, man. In this limited perspective, that shit worth eternity, man. You never seen that? Nigga, listen, man, you're living in the perfect world, man. But then again, you can only see it from your perspective, from your level of frequency. The lower you vibrate, you don't get to see the other side of what I'm telling you now. Those are the niggas that would say, you know, if there was a God or, you know, why would people die? Meanwhile, it's you killing you, motherfucker. How about that? Can you start there? You can't even deal with you like you worry about God, man. Deal with yourself first. Do you see what I'm saying? In fact, having God in your life, that's what helps you not to be like that. Through your divinity, that's when, you know, through ethics, then the fruit of the Spirit are what? Joy, compassion, understanding, being non-judgmental, understanding one another. To be a fully developed human being, that's why you have to feed your mind. That's why spirituality is a practical thing. You know, our ancestors, we wasn't doing spirituality like, you know what I'm saying, like that's something outside of you. It's a conversation to have, or it's kind of like philosophy. Nah, man. That's for the weak-minded. But the real ones, the true illuminated ones, we know this is a matter of life, man. This is not an every Sunday thing. This is an every second thing. All the breath, like every day. From the time you go to bed, from the time you wake up. Even when you go to bed, you still traveling. Man, listen. It's your essence. But this is where now you need to acknowledge these things. Then when you do, now you become spiritual. That's what being born again is. Then now you are born of the Spirit. Now you understand you need meditation. Now you understand you need to open up your third eye. You need to, now you understand not just the intellect is everything. You also need to use your emotions. But not just that, you need to also open up to the universe. That's why you meditate. You strengthening that spirit. You getting more downloads, more understanding, more aha moments. Because that's how you increase your consciousness and your frequency, by those aha moments. Like, ooh, a light bulb went up. And that's how you keep growing. Then you become the illuminated one, the true Illuminati. That's what it means when you see those pictures with the halo or the white cloud, whatever the fuck. That's why the cloud is symbol of, you know, wisdom. The hollow. It represents that. Man, listen, man. I'm sitting on the cloud right now, baby. I can't laugh too hard, man. Yo, I did some ab workout today, man. Man, I can't even laugh too hard. Oh, I went in. Man, I have a whole different appreciation for pain too now. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And I really, man, when I'm telling you, I'm building this body. I mean, of course, at times too. I mean, like tomorrow, I'm gonna go light tomorrow. Man, damn. I can't even laugh too hard, bro. Seriously. You know, but your boy's looking good though. You know what I'm saying? Boy's looking good though, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta pay the price. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes, man. You got, hey, you want the prize? Hey, man. But anyway, then you'll get to see like everything is reflecting. This is why now our ancestors, right? We used to worship nature. That's what it meant. Not worshiping in the sense of we knew nature was God. Not in the sense of people trying to make it, we understood the science. We saw the correspondence. In fact, when you're talking about metaphysics, it's telling you the same principles or the physics that exist in nature also exist in your life. You plant nothing, you get nothing. You know, that's why you practice. The more you practice, the better you get. That's how it goes. What you put in, that's what you know what I'm saying? To give is to receive. That's why the universe is reflecting you. But now, you got to learn how to change your reality. And that's what I was telling niggas too, man. Like, you don't have a manifestation issue. Because you manifested your fucked up life as you are on that fucked up frequency. Now, the only problem is now, like I told you guys, you're looking to put new wine into an old bottle of wine. It's not going to taste good. It's going to fuck up the new wine. You see, that's when you have to change your frequency. Your frequency. Change the way you start looking at you. That's why you are the way. But for you to start looking at you as you are, that's why it requires for you to see you. And for you to see you, you have to embrace both you have to become mentally and emotionally balanced. Then you become the embodied one. Now you're no longer looking at you from a one-sided perspective. Now you're seeing yourself holistically. And ironically, as you do so, that's how you bypass your physical self. Because then you really get to see it's about you. It's the things that you don't see about you that's ruling your life. That's when now we embrace the shadow. That's what it means when I'm saying I'm embracing the shadow. Being in tune with that spirit that's in me. You have to go within. That's the spirit. That is the Christ consciousness. That's the Godhead you need to adopt. And now as you do so now, your sight, your reality, everything changes around you. That's why they tell you seek the kingdom of God first, and everything else will be given to you. If you know, you know. I'm giving you free game, baby. Those are things I had to figure out, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't look for success from the outside, man. It's within you. You are the genie in the bottle. What's your wish, man? Change your frequency, man. Pull that genie out of you. Because you have a lot inside of you. You are Aladdin. A lot in you. You understand? Aladdin. You got a lot in, man. You got a lot inside of you, man. You have a lot inside of you. You got to pull it out. Now, that's the spirit. That's your true character. That is your gift. That is how you successfully became that fully developed human being. Or you become the God walking amongst men. Now you're taking your seat among the elders. Respectfully. I've always wanted to sit among them. Because I knew I was one of them. I couldn't wait. You know what I'm saying? That's why even as a kid, I always wanted to hear what the elders were talking about, man. Especially when I heard, the philosophies and, certain older niggas that used to break down some shit. You know what I'm saying? I was back then in Haiti. For me, I always wanted to hear what they were talking about, man. The type of philosophy these niggas were talking about. You know what I'm saying? What voodoo was about. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was highly involved in all that shit. Come on, man. Y'all making me testifying, man. It's my testimony, baby. The word you speak is the word you eat. That's why you need God. God help you to elevate. This is a practical thing. You know? And then when you get to realize that, that's when you become the artist of your own life. You're a work of art, baby. Now you get to paint yourself as you are. Then now you found your treasure, you found your beauty too. You have your self-worth, your self-esteem. What do you think you're going to get if you're reflecting that? I'll let you fill up the blanks, huh? Do you see what I'm saying? That's why you have to choose you. You gotta choose you, man. And ironically, when you choose you, you're choosing the community. That's how it works. Have I not chosen me? That's why I'm doing this work here. Because I had chosen me. But it's not just that. When you understand, like when you're moving by love too, right? Because now at this point, love also becomes, it's like that flame, that fire. So understand how flame works, right? It flame pretty much everything around it. Anything that fire touch turns into fire. That's why when you find you're looking for self-love, it's selfless, man. Because you're consumed by the fire, by the love fire. Then you become the fire too, so it's selfless. That's how you can relate to others. You hear me? That's why your emotion gets you closer to somebody else, man. That's why you don't want to be extremely logical, because life is not logical, nigga. Not everything is. You need a little bit of illogical shit. Add however the fuck you want to say it. That's why security and insecurity, they both came from love. I know it could be a little bit hard for people. Nah, man, it's two sides of the same coin. You can love somebody and be insecure about it. Yes, you can. You certainly can. But that's why it's also important for you to see both sides of the coin. Because people who are generally insecure, they don't know about security too much. I mean, it's almost like you got to be secure enough for you to be insecure. They're not secure enough. That's why they have insecurity. You get it? But when you're secure enough, that's why people who are secure enough, you admit when you make a mistake, bro. It's just a mistake. I know. In fact, I made plenty of other mistakes. That's how I know. The fuck? Do you see what I'm trying to tell you? So the more secure you are, man, then you'll be open to your insecurities. Do you see how the yang and the yin, the law of gender goes hand in hand? It's everywhere around you. And these are the things that you need to understand about you. That's when the Kabbalion now comes in and teaching you about those laws for you to master yourself. In other words, for you to become the true artist of your own life. Then you'll be making yourself based on who you are. Not on some fucking image, not on some fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You'll be building yourself based on who you are. Your true essence. That's what building a house on a solid foundation is. You're a work of art, man. But for you to do that, you got to understand all of that. See, that's the frequency. I mean, once you're on that frequency, man, like, come on, man. What the fuck is good and evil? You need both. Do you see what I'm saying? You need both, man. You know, a lot of us parents, like, there's something that I also I realized it was part of my insecurity. You know how some people would tell you, man, listen, man, as a father, like even Chris Rock said that. Like, as a father, like, if his daughter became, you know what I'm saying, a prostitute somehow, I mean, shit, he failed. No, it's not true, man. I mean, granted, I see it from both perspectives. I'm speaking from a higher perspective here. Because what happens, I mean, I understand what he's saying. Because a lot of these women, for the most part, you know, they never had guidance. Oh, trust me. I mean, listen, I'm speaking from a whole other level here. I get what he said. I guess the point that I'm making based on that is, because of that sometimes, we don't want our kids to make mistakes. That's really what I'm trying to say. So that is true. That does make sense. But the fact that you can't hold yourself accountable for certain things, man. Because he or she, your kids, they're going to have to be who they are. They have to be who they are. And if that requires not something that I'm wishing, and in fact, because I'm secure about it, I don't have no insecurity. If my daughter happened, you know, become a hoe, I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? I really don't see it, to be honest. But, you know what I'm saying? That's how secure I am too. I am secure about the insecurities as well. Or even I'm so secure, my insecurities is not even, it doesn't even bother me. You know, we all gonna have to put in, like, regardless of what you're teaching them. And especially if you didn't teach them the right way too. Like, lucky for these motherfuckers, I'm a spiritual healer. I know how to speak to their conscious mind. Oh, my point always get across. Because I know how to deal with their conscious mind. See, then again, and me being a seer too, you know, I see things as they are. Oh, let's just say I go beyond what's being presented to me. I know how to pull the truth out of them. But anyway, I'm saying that to say, you know, at certain point, you know, they're gonna have to put their own work too, man. Because all I'm giving them is just the tools. You know, just like if I'm giving you the note of a song, you're gonna have to play it. This is when you're gonna have to make your mistakes, whatever the fuck the situation is. But ultimately, what I'm trying to say is, no, I wouldn't hold myself accountable now, man. They got to put their own work too. I'm definitely gonna give you the tools, and I'll give you enough tools, you know. I mean, shit. But at the same time, man, I'm not gonna take accountability either way, neither. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I know it's two sides of the same coin. But ultimately, I help her or him to become who they're supposed to be. But anyway, And again, reflecting that and and I would only be able to do that because I find myself. Do you see what I'm saying? Then now you understand. So again, consumed by love, now I become selfless. I'm showing them their own mirror. And that's what I'm doing here. And that's what spirituality is all about. But the world that you're living in is a mirror too. That's why you manifest. That's why, as it is within, so it is without. It's on all different levels. It's all around you. Mirrors, 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 mirrors. Numbers. Some people could see it in numbers. You know, I could see it in synchronicities. I could tap into it. But at the end of the day, you use your skill or your gift, however you use them, but you understand the sacred geometry around you. Everything too is a message when you start looking at it that way. Oh, pay attention, man. The universe talks to you. But now you also got to raise your frequency for you to understand it. It's a frequency game. That's why you saying your affirmation every day, man, it don't mean nothing until you become that. If you're looking for love, don't just say you're looking for love, you will love, you're doing all that. And then yet, you're afraid of being vulnerable. What kind of love is that? You're never going to find love. I don't give a fuck how many spell you doing, how many affirmation you saying, how many song frequencies that you're listening to, until you actually turn into that frequency yourself. You have to be in tune. That's why you manifest who you are. You got to become that mirror. Universe, don't give a fuck. That's why you are that genie in the bottle. What do you want? You don't make a choice, it's making a choice. No way outside of it, man. You're the genie in the bottle, baby. Make a wish. But you have to be in alignment with it. Being in alignment with it means you raise your frequency to it. First of all, and the same thing, if you want to be abundant, you can see money as everything. If you see money as everything, you don't have an abundant spirit. Because now your abundance is limited to just cash. So you are, even though you still projecting a lack mentality, a lack frequency. To truly be abundance, man, it's really like you got money today, you love life. You ain't got money tomorrow, shit, you love life even more. When money defines you, there's a lack in you. That means you haven't, not only you don't understand money, but you haven't fully see your potentials and other things that contribute to your life. You haven't fully embraced who you are. That's why they tell you the stingy one always pay twice. You know what I'm saying? Every man has to answer to his own act. You are a reflection of your life, man. You are the artist. You're painting the picture. To the pure, all is pure. When you find beauty in you, guess what you're going to project? It's nothing but beauty, baby. I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm just saying. You are a work of art, man. And you got to know how to use all those different tools. You know, just like an artist painting his life, that's who you are. As you are. With your own gifts. You building yourself based on who you are. Because I don't know who you are. You have your gift. I got mine. I build myself based on who I am. This mirror here is not for you to follow me. It's for you to see you. And that's what makes this, when we're talking about the occult, that's what we're talking about pretty much. I mean, your life is mysterious in itself. But when you don't have that flavor in you, you can't see certain things, man. You're like a stone. Then now you speak of supernatural, like you fully like it's low, your vibration is very low. You know what I'm saying? When you only see things from the 3D, you see just a hard stop. That means there's other aspects of you have not even explored, that are dead. That's what makes you a living corpse. Meaning you breathing, you eating, you shitting, you fucking, but there's nothing else. That's what, was it Plato that says, or Aristotle? I understand what he was saying. A life, an unexamined life, it's not a worthy life, man. If you don't use you, how good are you? And using you entails you knowing you, exploring your gifts, following your path. That's what it is. The unknown, the insecurity, the wisdom of the insecurity. You got to step into it. Welcome to the mystery of life, nigga. Or the supernatural. Embellish it however you like. If you want to be theatric. But even that is beautiful too. I wouldn't mind doing that. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Be a man of flavor, man. A man of history. A man of legacy. You know, it all comes with it. Because every time you putting on for you, it's always going to be a legacy because no one else can do it. Like I tell them, man, you can't act it the way I perform it. You're just acting it. I do the whole performance. That's why you got to have that direct experience, that connection, that Christ consciousness, you and the universe. No one goes to the Father without the Christ. Without that awakening, you ain't going nowhere. That's what the Christ is. That awakening is that aha, in lack of better term. For you to see the bigger picture. Man. Again, my stomach is hurting. Again. You know what I'm saying? Your life is a fucking art, man. It's beautiful. You know, once you get to see the polarity, then now you have developed your inner vision. You have expand your vision, your consciousness. And at the same time, your sight in this reality too. You know, then now you understand you need to become, if you're looking for love, I mean, you could say your affirmation all you want, but make sure you are on that frequency. Now, when you are on that frequency, and then now you're saying the affirmation, oh boy, now you're a bad motherfucker. Now you're speaking with authority. Now you're speaking from true, you know, you're speaking from where that came from. You're speaking from knowing. Oh, that speech, listen. It's like I mean, it's like fucking like it's like lightning, man. Now your words become like fucking lightning when you're in tune with that emotion. Even when you're searching for love, and then now you become vulnerable, and now you're saying that. Come on, man. That's what it means. Now you could take it easy. That's how you're attracting now, because now you can attract because you become what you're attracting. That's why you have to become new. For a new wine, you got to get a new bottle. Or if you used to use an old bottle, it's got to be clean. Wash it off, dry it out. However you choose to do it. But you can't do it with the old one. That's why you have to be born again, or born twice. It's like you were born at one point, and then now you're being born unto spirit now. These are practical shit. Then you become that genie in the bottle. Then you know you have a lot in. You know you become Aladdin because you have a lot in. You get it? And you do have a lot in. But you got, you know what I'm saying? You got to go inside, man. You got to go inside. That's what it is. That's why you also need to understand your emotions now so you could transmute them. To be emotionally balanced is to understand your emotions, understand the emotional pattern, and now you have the ability to transmute it. Then you become the alchemist. Then now, a true manifester, you know how to change your reality or how to shift your reality. And then now, as you're doing so, you would also learn to understand what's taking place in the universe. Because when you shift in reality, before you get to see what you're going to see, the whole world got to crumble first. You know, that's when people would tell you, man, when God is about to move you up, or when God is about to give you a blessing, you know, then, you know, your best friends are not going to be around. All that shit you be hearing. Because I understand it. I'm a seer. I know what manifesting is. I co-host with the universe. That's why the Sufis tell you the pain is where the light goes through. Now you have to rehash your thoughts, rethink about pain. You got to change everything you used to know. That's why you don't want to be comfortable anymore. For you to grow, you got to keep growing. You got to make yourself uncomfortable. When you understand the science, then now you apply it to yourself and watch how that's what it means by you watering your garden. Then now you truly become the handyman around this motherfucker. You taking care of self. The true self now. Yeah, aesthetically too. I mean, yeah. It's just going to be a side effect of that. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of you motherfuckers, you only know the physical part of it. And then now when you're talking about taking care of you, it's going on vacation. What? I mean, it's good. I mean, yeah, enjoy yourself too. But that's not what I'm referring to here. It's bigger than that. And then now you could do all of that too. But at least you know something greater than that though. Whereas the people who's talking about the aesthetic part of shit, you don't know any better than that. That is what one-sided is. Don't be one of them. Don't be one of them. That's why they'll never be the Christ. But for you to elevate to become the Christ, man, come on, man. You have to embrace all of it. Your insecurities, your vulnerability. And the more you do that, the stronger you become. You know, if you, you learn how to be, like I always tell you guys, man, you have to learn how to love with a broken heart for you to find love, man. If you were hurt, then you acting a certain way. You're not giving love a chance. So literally, it's you. You got to give it a chance, man. If you're not giving it a try, how do you expect it to work, man? And this is where the universe is reflecting you. That's why you have to master your emotions, for you to understand where your insecurities are coming from. Then now you have the ability to transmute it. And that's the wisdom, truly, of your insecurities too. Because, and even pain. That's why they tell you everything that happens to you is for you, not against you. It's when you feel insecure, it's a good opportunity for you to be like, okay, let me just slow it down here for a second. If you don't know where you're coming from, you'll never know where you're going. What this is saying is, if you don't acknowledge what's in front of you, how do you make the best fucking decision, man? You're not. You're not. So by you slowing it down, you got to get to the essence of things. And that's what we call in the occult, you're doing what? Your shadow work. The shadow side of you, you're working on that shadow side of it. That's where your insecurities lies, your emotions, and all of that shit. You have to go within and heal that wounded child. Then as you do so now granted, when you heal it, it doesn't mean it goes away. No. Now you have a relationship with it. Because the worst emotions is an emotion that you repress, not the one you acknowledge. In fact, that's what your emotions want you to do. Your insecurities they're all calling for them to be acknowledged. That's how they're working for you. And once you acknowledge it, and that's when now, okay. Now we're working together. That's the harmony. And that's what you're doing. That's the yin and the yin. That's, the scale. That's my act. That's justice, true justice. True harmony. That's what that shit is. Just like there's a saying that says, life isn't too bad without money, as it isn't any better with a lot of money neither. Do you get it? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes being broke was the motivation that somebody needed for them to become rich, man. That's why you got to see the beauty in everything that you do. You see what I'm saying? With an empty pocket at times, man, you make better decisions. It's not always the case, but the bottom line of what I'm saying here, you know what I'm saying? The good could be bad, the bad could be good, man. How are you using it? But to fully use it, you got to see it from both sides. To fully benefit from pain, you got to see the lesson. Then when you see the lesson, you don't really look at the pain. That's why they say pain is inevitable, but suffering is different. You may choose to suffer, you may not choose to. It's up to you. I think it's the Buddhists said that shit too. You know what I'm saying? Again, one truth never hurt another truth. The truth is the truth, man, regardless of where it comes from. You know, that's why you got to keep forgiving yourself too. Keep getting better. And this is where we talk about, it's funny, I was talking about a spiritual identity crisis, you know, because think about this, man. What you call a butterfly is a dead caterpillar. It's what kills you that makes you stronger. Contrary to what people are telling you is bullshit. It's what kills you that makes you stronger. You know, and guess what do you think is going to happen to you as you change your frequency? The person that you are is going to change too, man. You know, and that's what Jesus is saying. When you drink out of my mouth, pause. Well, there's no pause. You know, the nourishment, you understand those words. That's why he's speaking from a fucking energetic level. Then you become that understanding. That's why you sound like him. That's why for me, I'm always going to sound like him. I'm always going to say what he said. Why the fuck not? It makes sense to me. I drink out of it. It's in me. And I am that too. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is how deep the knowledge is, man. You see, that's what the knowledge, man, it changes you. And that's what you do as you do that. That's how you change your reality. You change your frequency to change your reality. That's what it means. So you already reflecting your life. Now you have an issue where now you want to reflect something that you're not. And now you're looking for tricks. You're looking for, you know what I'm saying? There's no fucking tricks, nigga. To change your environment, you have to change. Until you change, your environment will not change. And I've seen it. I've seen people who was put in position. And that's why I said to myself, does that happen to everybody? I felt like, you know, in life, you have your moments. Do you see what I'm saying? And if you're not ready for it, you will always miss it. But I also understand what's yours too. You'll never lost. What that means is, you know, like you had the opportunity, but you're not ready for it. When you're ready, you're not gonna miss yours. That's why you gotta stay ready, man. This is why you have to become the artist of your life. This is why you gotta be devoted to God, to yourself. It's a full-time job. And the fully developed you become, the more you become with your kids, with your environment, you become a better human being. That's what spirituality do for you. But you have to walk that path. Unless if you want to sound like those pastors, then you're going to talk about some good words, and then you're doing shit behind the door because you don't have that integrity in you. Your words and your actions are not in harmony. It's blasphemy. That's what being a liar is. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same thing, like with manifesting, you being the artist, man. Build your life, man. Be that genie in the bottle. Know you got a lot in. And I'm gonna leave you guys here, man. Damn, man. Yo, I worked on some core exercises today, man. You know, your boy's working on his packs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas looking sexy out here. You know what I'm saying? We're changing everything, you hear me? You know what I'm saying? I'm making room for my money. You heard? Come to me. You're already there anyway. I'm not worried about you. But I'll always remember for you to be I mean, for you to do, you have to be. And if you're forced to you can never be true to somebody else. And always, always, and always remember, the remedy of the pain is in the pain. Aisyen. Mali.